Good morning, guys. It's Dee, and please excuse my attire and my sloppy look because I went for a run this morning, but I went a bit later because I went in an area that was different. I went to one of the provincial parks that I wanted to check out, but I went a bit later because I know there's a coyote problem and they have these really gigantic birds that scare me. Their wingspan is like taller than me, and I'm like 5'8" and a bit, so they look like they might just eat me or take my head or something. So anyways, I went a bit later. I didn't go at 4 in the morning, but I'm just on my way back from running. But I promised a video and it's been on my mind, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to articulate it well, and it might be a long video, but it's valuable and it's very important because it's a transition. It is the bridge between everything you're seeing on YouTube right now that's motivational and inspiring, and it's the bridge between that information and that knowledge and those practices, like manifestation, like limiting mindsets, like all of these things that you're seeing, and transitioning and rebranding yourself and all of this, and the bridge between those ideas and how you can actually live these things, and you can actually acknowledge them and make them part of your life. Because what I'm seeing a lot, for example, is I'll see a video such as, you have limiting beliefs around money and that's why you're poor, and you need to wake up and just like live the life you would as if you weren't broke, as if you didn't have this limiting mindset around money, and you didn't have limiting mindset around abundance. You have to live the life of abundance. But that's hard to do, for example, if like just getting up and going to the mall, you can't even buy a coffee and walk around the mall like you're abundant and you just want to shop even if you don't plan to, and you just want to be a part of the social environment to immerse yourself in this, when that money on coffee could be a loaf of bread or a bag of milk for your kids. Okay, so there's a disconnect there, and this information isn't being shared. And I don't know if it's a lot of these young YouTubers don't understand that maybe they don't have the life experience, or they haven't been in the position where they see that it's not necessarily a lack of abundance mindset, it's a lack of abundance. It's a lack of abundance opportunity and freedom and flexibility. So if you don't have credit, excuse the GPS, sorry, I'm driving, of course, but it's hands-free, so it's legal and safe. But if you don't have the freedom and flexibility of having credit to your name or having credit cards, and that, which you shouldn't be using anyway, you should be spending what you have and that's it. But you want to establish credit, you want to build credit if you have that opportunity, and there's a lot of programs to help you do that now with advanced and prepaid credit cards and things like that. So there are opportunities, but when you're working with cash, you only have access to what you have. Doesn't matter what your mindset is. You can get dressed up and go shopping like you're abundant and you live a luxury lifestyle all you want, and pretend your old used car that's falling apart is your brand new Mercedes, and you might believe it and get excited and get in that car and feel the joy as if it were a brand new Mercedes, like you're taught to do on YouTube. But your car still might break down on the highway, and you might not have the money to get a tow truck, and you might be screwed and stuck there. So I propose that what the true message should be is, yes, manifest all of these things, believe in it, feel the joy. Quantum physics and quantum mechanics tells us that where attention flows, energy will go, okay? Or where attention goes, energy flows. If your mind and your heart are connected, our minds and our heart can change ourselves. If you put, I'm going to tell you something unbelievable. If you put a a normal cell, a cell from your leg, from the skin of your toe, on a petri dish next to a functioning cardiac cell, a heart cell that's beating, that piece of that cell from the skin off the tip of your toe will start beating in sequence with that cardiac cell on that petri dish if you put them close enough, okay? If you put your heart next to somebody's close enough, your hearts will join in rhythm, okay? Our hearts have a lot of magnetism, a lot of magnetic power, and if you combine that with our mindset and our determination, we have immense power in the universe, okay? So this is real. Whether we know how to use it, different story. Whether believing it and getting excited about it and feeling it is enough, I don't know. I do know that's true though, and I know quantum physics and quantum mechanics tells us it's true. So we just don't necessarily know how to use it. But how we can use it is this. Do your manifesting, drop the limiting beliefs. The limiting belief might be that maybe you can't be rich because, and this is true, we have limiting beliefs. For instance, I grew up in a large family. This is my personal experience, where my dad worked. He made a great income. He had an excellent job. But my mom, there was no way paying for daycare and her working was going to happen. There were 9 of us, okay? So it didn't make sense. So we always had food. We always had back to school clothes. We always had Christmas. We got one present at Christmas, and we didn't expect more. That was super exciting for us, and we were grateful. And Christmas was a spiritual holiday for us. They made it about family time, not about gifts, not about things. So where they put our attention is what we found joy in. So where you focus your attention is where you're going to draw your joy, because they did that to us as children. So I passed that on to my own kids. My kids, I could tell them this year, guys, it's tight. We are huge on bills. It's tight. And we're not going to have a lot of presents this Christmas. And my kids don't care, because we were raised that Christmas was about decorating and making our own decorations and seeing what we could come up with, and we could MacGyver around the house and make it Christmassy and fun and exciting, right? So you can point your energy towards something else and make joy out of it, and that is abundant. So we have abundant holidays and Christmases, whether we have money or not, because our abundance we draw from other things, and we can do that in life. You don't need money or specific things to be abundant at this moment. If money is not what you have, make your abundance come from other things that you do have, and feel the joy and feel abundant in those areas. But it's the same with weight loss, for instance. You can imagine yourself and pretend you have lost the weight you want to lose all you want, but you still are going to feel heavy when you go up the stairs. You're still going to feel tired and fatigued and have sore knees and sore hips if you're older and you've been carrying weight around. And it's going to take time for that weight to come off. It's work and it's time and it's effort. You can't just wish yourself there. But what you can do is you can change your mindset, and you can manifest motivation, and you can manifest determination. You can't manifest the outcome necessarily, but you can manifest the determination and the motivation to help you achieve the small goals along the way that will help you reach your outcome. And it's not going to happen overnight, but it will take time. And limiting beliefs do play a factor here, because if you believe you can't do it, you won't be motivated to start. So I propose that small steps, small challenges along the way are your bridge to achieving these massive changes in your life that YouTubers are saying you can just overnight, you can create, and that we are creators. Yes, we are creators. We can create, but at what speed and at what level, I don't think we understand. I don't think we know how to do it, but what we do know is how to do it on a small scale. And those small scale steps will lead to the big scale if we follow them. So create a pattern, habits, create routines, create rules for yourself, create fasting routines where if you want to lose weight, you're going to fast for it. There's apps for it now where you can fast for certain amounts of time. Create an exercise routine, one that you can follow. Don't plan to go for runs every day and work out at the gym 3 times a week. Plan to go for a walk 3 times a week, and that will change into something more. And do things that are deliberate, that are intentional, make them SMART goals. We all know what SMART goals are. If you don't look them up, I'm not going to waste your time getting into it. But basically, they're small goals that they're realistic, you can achieve them, and they've got a time limit on them. So, like, I'm going to walk for 20 minutes 3 times a week. 20 minutes is a lot if you're just starting and if you're trying to lose weight and you're a heavy person and you've got sore joints. So I would say I'm going to walk to the corner and back 3 times a week. And I'm going to do it at this time of day every week, at this time or on these days. And that time, if you just leave it to any time, something will happen and it won't happen. So set the time, set it within a scope that you know to expect and that you will follow, because that's how you follow routines. Walk to the corner and back, and then walk halfway around the block and walk back, then walk around the block and come back. That's how you start a routine, and that is how your limiting belief dissipates, because now you know you can, and you start building confidence, and that confidence makes limiting beliefs disappear. It gives you motivation. It gives you the ability and the strength, the mental strength and the emotional strength to get excited, because you know you can do it, even if it's on a small scale. If you can do something on a small scale, it means it's a decision. And once you realize you can make a decision to do something, then every choice is open to you. You can make any choice you want. You just might not be able to see the outcome of that decision and that choice overnight. And you have to realize that, and that's what the YouTubers are leaving out. That choice is yours to make. I can decide that I am going to be rich. I'm going to decide, like I have decided, like I said in my last video, that my business is going to succeed. I'm struggling right now. I'm going through a hard time in it right now. I'm having a hard time getting customers. But I've decided that this is it. Like, do or die. Like, I'm making this work. It's not going to be as fast as I want, maybe, and it might not be on my timing, and it might not be as easy as I want, and I might go without a few things in the meantime. Like, I've had to restructure some of my finances. I never, ever, ever buy a coffee out. Like, if I want a coffee, like, it's either water or coffee in my travel mug. Like, I get to pick, and I usually pick water, but it's just a habit. It's not because I'm, like, the healthiest bitch in the world, because I try my best, but I'm not. And I will never buy a bottle of water. I will always bring my water with me. I will always reuse the grocery bags. Like, my finances, they were my biggest fear, okay? And I realized that was a limiting factor for me. I wasn't in control of them because I never looked at them. I wouldn't open mail about bills. I would stash them because I was scared of them. And I realized this was a limiting factor for me. And I learned that by watching these YouTube videos. Even though I knew it in my head, listening to like a 20-year-old tell me made me feel like an idiot. So I'm like, okay, I gotta get over this. So I started opening up every piece of mail, and even if I can't pay that bill right now, I would document it and write it down, and write down when I think I can make the minimum payment. And then I would reach out to that company that I owe money to, and I would let them know, hey, I can't pay this bill right now. What can we do? I can pay you this at this time, I think, but that's the best I can do. What are the solutions? What are the options? And then I would feel empowered. And all of a sudden, I didn't feel sick to my stomach when I saw that mail sitting in a pile anymore. I didn't feel sick to my stomach when I saw that unopened envelope. I just felt like I did something about it. And even if I didn't pay that whole bill off, I accomplished something. And it started giving me confidence and melting away the limiting beliefs. And it made me feel like I am living that new life, that I'm that new girl. I'm rebranding myself into a girl that's in charge of my finances. Like, I'm a boss. Like, I'm taking care of my finances. And only because I've made these small changes. And yeah, I'm not doing everything I wish I could do with my finances, but I'm taking control of them. That was step one. So I've made little changes that have given me immense power. And I realized that was just a choice I finally made, and it took some stupid 20-year-old on the internet, not stupid, a smart 20-year-old, obviously, because she taught me a few things, to tell me to stop letting my fears control me. And I was letting my fear control my finances and my inability to manage them because I was so afraid that I couldn't. And now I've realized that I can. I might not be able to manage them the way I want, but I can manage them. That is my choice. And if I can make that choice, I can make more choices and other choices. And all of these choices are going to help me get further ahead and further ahead and further ahead. And that is going to give me that financial freedom and flexibility that I want to wake up to, that feeling of financial abundance. And it's not tomorrow, but it's coming, and it will happen. I'm not making as much as I want in my business. Not nearly as much. I'm not making enough to survive alone on my business right now. But I'm going to. And I damn well know I'm going to, because I'm never, ever going to stop. I am out handing out flyers, knocking on doors, handing out business cards. I am doing giveaways. I am doing everything I possibly can every day till my damn back hurts. Working my ass off to make this business succeed, and I am not going to stop until it does. And that is a choice and a decision I've made, and I'm determined that that's the way it's going to be. So that's the way it's going to be. And That it's just all in the choices. And that small choice to get up and go out, hand out business cards and flyers today and feel like an idiot and feel like a kid starting my own business, I don't care what people think of me, because I've got a few referrals that way, and a few is more than none. So I've succeeded. It's success. And it might not be grand success, enormous success, but it is success. So it's not on the scale that these YouTubers are telling us, but it is happening, okay? It's happening for me. It's just not happening on the scale and at the speed that they make us believe that it can happen, okay? And you know, maybe it can for a few people, but for the most of us, we have to do things on a smaller scale and get excited about the accomplishments and achievements that we're making and the progress that we're making and the limiting beliefs that we're losing, the motivation we're gaining, the success, the excitement, the joy, and the feelings of abundance that we're gaining from the small accomplishments that we're achieving. And that is the bridge. That is the bridge between the big promises that YouTubers are making us by changing our mindset, and the real world where we have to live with limiting factors, not limiting beliefs, but limiting factors like finances, like the actual weight that is making our knees hurt so we can't go for a run and just work out at the gym because that girl gets up and goes to the gym 3 times a week. So I want to live her life. I want to be skinny. I'm gonna do what that girl does, that skinny girl does. Well, there's a limiting factor there. You can't do that if you're 100 pounds overweight, because your knees will collapse and you won't be able to go to work that week. So that's a limiting factor. You have to take things slower and on a smaller scale. So anyways, guys, that's the video. I believe that's the bridge. I believe this video should go viral because nobody talks about the bridge and how you transition from looking at things from limiting beliefs to limiting factors that we have control over, that we can change a small step at a time, and the goals we set and the manifestations and the motivation and the outcomes that we are being told we can just self-determine, and the steps we need to take to be able to self-determine them, and for those determinations to turn into realism and our realistic day-to-day life, because there are steps along the way, there's things we need to do, and it's not an overnight dream come true. But those little accomplishments are an overnight dream come true, because when I go and work my ass off all week handing out business cards and flyers, if I get one call back at the end of the week from that, I feel like I didn't blow my week. I get excited, my heart attaches to my mind, I feel it, I envision where this is going, I feel the joy in my heart, and that is how quantum mechanics and quantum physics brings magnetism and brings more good things to you. But it's also realistic, because psychology-wise, that is how you get yourself excited and you find joy, which leads to motivation and freedom and the feeling of flexibility and the freedom and the feeling of decision making and independence and power and control. Psychologically, that's how we bring it into our lives as well, by small choices, small actions, and small accomplishments, okay? So don't forget it, guys. This is super duper important. This can help you go from where you are to where everyone is telling you you can be. We can be in that place that all the YouTubers are telling us. We just need to change our frame of mind and our mindset as to how we're going to get there, and we can still find all the joy and the feelings of abundance and excitement that they're telling us. We can feel that. We just need to shift our mindset about what makes us feel that, and how big the win has to be to feel that, because it doesn't have to be that I can provide my kids a million presents at Christmas. It just has to be that we all have a great time together playing Christmas music, eating the cookies we made that afternoon, and playing a board game together, because that's exciting and that is Christmas for us. So if you get my example there, okay? So just change your frame of reference as to what brings you joy and abundance and feelings of excitement and control and power, and you will feel all of those things. And the big outcome, you'll get there. You're just not going to get there this morning or tomorrow morning, maybe you will, but it's rare and far between. But we do bring these things onto ourselves and into our own lives, and we can do it, and science tells us we can, but psychology tells us that we can also find all of those beautiful outcomes in our mind and in our body from the steps we take along the way while we're working hard to get there. So don't miss out on the beauty of the journey. That's all. Because the journey is the accomplishment. And that's what's missing in all the messages that we're receiving right now from social media. That the journey is the accomplishment itself. Okay? And that's all I had to say. And I hope this was helpful. Please subscribe to my channel, guys. I hope you watched till the end. Give me a thumbs up and please leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about this. And if you think I'm onto something here or if you think I'm batshit crazy, because I love to read your comments. And I will see you all soon. I love you all. And thank you for those who responded to my last video and saying I love you back. That was really sweet. And it made my day when I read it. I read it late last night. And that was really nice. And mwah, you guys are the best. I will see you all soon. Take care and have a great day. And if you're going to go running where there's coyotes, don't go at 4 in the morning. Do what I did. Go later once the sun's up. See you soon.